From the studios of Tucson Business RadioX, recorded in the Stewart Title corporate offices on Broadway, you are now listening to The Mark Bishop Show. And now here's your host, Mark Bishop.
And welcome to another episode. You know, 1 in 3 Americans say increasing their savings is a top financial goal for the next 6 months. 43% of Americans say that they're unable to save as much as they wanted in 2020, according to a Bank of America survey. With a new year underway and 38% of Americans aiming to save more in 2021, Bank of America is encouraging everyone to review their savings strategies during America Saves Week. Okay, this is, of course, during this time of year, February 22 through 26. Now, my special guest on my show today is Chris Wong, financial expert and consumer savings executive for the Bank of America. Welcome, Chris.
Hi, Mark. Thanks for having me on today.
Good to have you again. We're going to go into insights and tips because I'd love you to share some tips. This is not easy to do on how to make, savings simple for us to reach our financial goals. Now, budget and track your spending. 45% of Americans say their day-to-day living costs were the biggest barriers to saving in 2020. This survey must have shown you a lot of things.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And to your point, that day-to-day living cost, that's one of the biggest challenges that we saw through the survey. So a great way to start saving is by doing the following 3 things. First, make a budget to understand your current spending habits and areas where you can save. Second, review your expenses and bucket them into categories like groceries and utilities. Finally, measure these categories against your income to find out how much you can begin saving.
Mm-hmm. It's sort of needs versus wants, isn't it? Measuring categories against your total income. I mean, there are certain things you've got to have, and then there's, the tempting ones and so on. Why do you think, Chris, that 45% of Americans say that their day-to-day living costs were the biggest barriers?
I think one of the things that we also saw through the survey is that half of people said they didn't start budgeting their spending until they started their first full-time job. And so it's really about starting as early as you can and making sure that savings fits into your everyday routine and making it easy for yourself. If we can start there, then that's where we can really get a hold of that day-to-day living costs and being able to budget more and track those expenses to identify where you can save going forward.
Okay, Chris, well, what about the idea of save with a plan?
Yeah, saving with a plan can take on many different forms. And so for me, I have a couple great tools that I leverage, one of which is, being able to save money while you spend. So what that means is maximize the cash back you earn on your everyday purchases by using a cash rewards credit card. You can use the rewards you earn to save by setting up automatic transfers so that whenever you do reach a certain rewards balance, let's say $25, it gets deposited directly into your savings account.
Mm-hmm. Well, that adds up, doesn't it? Nothing to sneeze at there. Saving automatically. Yeah. What about this one, Chris? Saving automatically. 49% of Americans use automatic savings programs, And what about the Bank of America's Keep the Change program? Tell us about that.
Yeah, that's another great form of saving while you spend. And talking about, speaking of adding up, right? The Keep the Change program means that you automatically round up your debit card purchases to the nearest dollar, and then that change gets transferred from your checking account to your savings account. And by the way, we celebrated our 15-year anniversary for Keep the Change last year.
Congratulations on that.
Program.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, 15 years.
Wow.
That's a darn good achievement. There's so many flash in the pan things, people try, corporations try, but that's a winner,
For sure, and it's a big feature and program for us, and that's where more than 20 million customers have saved over $15 billion.
Wow. Now, that's a nice one. Let's talk about building on an emergency fund, saving even a few dollars each month. evaluating your account options, asking the right questions. You know, you got to look at things like account fees, what's the initial deposit requirement, all that type of thing. I mean, the bank goes out of its way, doesn't it, the BOA in this particular case for customers. You tend to really go after service now.
That's right. The most important thing, which I tell my family and friends, is don't wait to open up that savings account, because that's one of the biggest steps you can take to start your savings journey. And then from there, when you evaluate which account to open, ask the right questions. So to your point, it's what are the account fees? And here at Bank of America, we have a great account called Advantage Savings that waives the monthly account fee for the first 6 months, which is a great form of savings.
Well, it is. And I can remember when I was a little guy, I used to, you know, when you get that very first account book or your savings account book, I couldn't wait to sort of race to the bank to put another dollar in. You know, they add up.
That's right.
And then your mom would sit down and say, now look at this, look at that, what you've saved. Very good. Okay, now, how do you save when you spend, Chris?
So it's a couple different ways around, you know, for example, what I mentioned around the leveraging the cash rewards credit card. So being able to get the rewards there you earn to save, and setting up those automatic transfers to go from, you know, to go to your savings account. And then there's the Keep the Change program. And then there's also being able to set up automatic transfers from your checking to savings, so you can save without even having to think about it.
Now, there's a site that we should talk about for people to visit. There's a lot on this. Is there anything you want to add about people can learn from the Bank of America's sites? This is Better Money Habits. This is HTTPS, of course, folks, Better Money Habits, all one sentence, .bankofamerica.com. What am I going to find if I go there, Chris?
You're going to find some really great educational resources. It's easy to understand tools and information on topics such as savings. And the great thing about it is it's free and it's available to everyone.
So I can sit there in my pajamas, have a cup of coffee, put the slippers on if I want, and just read my little heart out, right?
Absolutely. You can spend 5 minutes if you want, or even, you know, a whole hour. There's so many great different articles and tips that you'll find useful.
About my guest today, folks, Chris Wong. He's the Consumer Savings Executive in the Consumer and Small Business Products Group at the Bank of America. His responsibilities include growing and managing the Bank of America's portfolio of savings products. You know, he and his team develop strategies to ensure that consumer savings products and services do meet the financial needs of various clients. You know, he joined the bank back in 2011 and most recently was a senior vice president in the Bank of America's deposit pricing and service charge group. So he's responsible for pricing strategy, tactics, execution for consumer and small business deposits. He's around the old moolah every day. So I guess you see a lot of things, Chris. You hear a lot of stories, and, you know, it must pull your hair out sometimes how you just wish you could do more for your clients, you know.
That's right. Every day is a new day. And, you know, being able to even talk with you, Mark, and sharing some of the best practices that I share with my family and friends, it's a great way. And you know, to your point, this week is America Saves Week, which, again, an annual celebration to reinforce the importance of savings. And so no better time to talk about, you know, what's dear to me, which is savings and being able to get everyone on a path to that journey.
Yeah, you know, and it is a hard time, Chris. I know we can talk on the left hand. It's savings week and all this is great. Well, you got to have a job. You got to be saving. You got to be able to do it. So many Americans at the moment, one way or another, we've been hit. It's almost like Armageddon the last 2 years. You know, where do you start? Where do you go? How do I get money to even save? You got to keep the old chin up and keep a goal, and you work your way through this.
Yep, you got it. And it's about identifying those areas where you can save. So looking through the budget, looking through your expenses where you can potentially even cut back, right? Make it personal to you and start even small. Like, I know, you know, to your point, everyone's situation is different right now. So what that means to me is saving even $5 a week means you'll have over $250 saved at the end of the year, which can help you prepare for, the next unexpected event.
That's right. You just never know. That 250 could step you into something you'd never dreamed of, and you could even end up a millionaire. That's being positive, right?
You got it. For sure.
All right, Chris, lovely speaking with you again. Great job that you do for the BOA. Chris Wong, ladies and gentlemen, here with Mark Bishop on the Business RadioX network. We'll talk to you again, Chris.
Thanks, Mark, for having me on.